Hello children, good morning, welcome back to English class. So today in this video, 5 chums and the hacker, this is part 3. As you know that in the last video, you know that Aunt Stephanie has been fainted in Mr. Subramaniam's flat because she had threats from the hacker. And these 5 chums, 5 children, they were ready to trace the hacker. So in the last video what happened is, so Aunt Stephanie's computer has been uh, caught by a virus called SenseDetectC. So then due to that, computer microphone also starts working. So it has become very easy to the hacker to hear all that what is Aunt speaking at home. Okay, she has a habit of murmuring and speaking something when she is alone. So due to this, Aunt Stephanie was caught by that hacker, and he had traced her phone number and started calling her up. So this is what happened in the last video. Now let us go into the lesson. Oh, that's easy, said Arya. Aunt Stephanie mutters all the time. The microphone picked up some of it. So what she used to do, Aunt Stephanie, she had a habit of muttering all the time. So it's very easy to the microphone to pick up what is going on in the home. Then everyone thumped Bill on her back. The mystery is solved. Tra la 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 la, sang Nishat. Arya protested. Hey, hold on. What are we going to do about the hacker? So Bill came to know that who is the hacker. Then the mystery is solved, so he is in a happy mode. Okay. Then Arya protested that, yeah, wait, hold on. Why are you so happy? Then how could we catch that hacker? So let us think about that, he said. Oh, there's a way to catch him, said Basanti. We'll catch him in his own trap. Listen. Then Basanti continued to say how she is going to catch the hacker. They all, including Aunt Stephanie, agreed. That means all the other 4 chums, and at the same time Aunt Stephanie also agreed to her, to Basanti. Then the next morning they all sat around the computer, scripts ready in hand. So everyone were given scripts, some papers written, something is written on those papers. That means what they have to do. Those scripts have been written on the papers, and they all sat around the computer uh, to catch that hacker. Okay. From the bank, ma'am, said Arya in a salesman like voice. So they started the trap. You called up for our money at your doorstep service. So why they are doing all these things? Why? Because this hacker, whenever the computer is switched on, immediately the hacker traces whatever is going through this computer. So immediately the hacker also listens what is going on here. So that's why they want to do some trick. So Arya acted as a salesman. He pretended to be a salesman, and in the salesman's voice he started speaking like this. Oh yes, thanks, said Aunt Stephanie. He said, ma'am, you called up for our money at your doorstep. That means you want money doors to that means to give you to your home. That service you opted for that service, he said. Then Aunt Stephanie said, yes. Just leave it there on the table, will you? What Aunt Stephanie said, okay, I want that money, but you come and leave that money on the table, she said. Yes, ma'am, said Arya. Noddy opened and closed the door loudly. Then Noddy pretended to open the door. Just she opened and closed the door loudly. Then next what happened? Auntie now muttered under her breath, Now, now, let me see. I must get some almonds for the chocolate cake. Oh, the money, the money. I'll keep it away later. Then what Aunt pretended to do that. That means as that sales boy has brought some money, and he kept that money on the table. And what she's saying, okay, I want some money to purchase some almonds for to prepare chocolate cake. Okay, I'll keep that money somewhere. Okay, I'll do that later, she said. Oh, I'm late for church. Where are the keys? Never mind. I'll just shut the door tight. I'm late already. So late. Auntie let her voice fade away. Okay, then what she did? She just muttered as if she's leaving her flat, just closing her door tight. She didn't lock the door at all. Okay, as she is already late to the church, she left her door. She left her door like that. She didn't lock it. Then Noddy opened and closed the door. After a few minutes, Bill switched off the computer. Then this is what happened till now. Then aunt said that okay, I had to go to church, and she just closed the door tightly and she went away. Then after a few minutes, Bill switched off the computer. 2 hours later, the doorbell rang. At once they all rose and took position behind doors and furniture. See, these children are at home, and even Aunt Stephanie is also. They didn't go anywhere. Just they pretended that uh, all of all of them were out. So that the hacker will reach Aunt Stephanie's door. Why? Because it is already kept opened to take that money which is kept on the table. So 2 hours later, the bell rang. At once, all the children, those who are in the room, they all took their position. That means, some children sat behind the door, and some children sat behind the furniture. The knob turned. Slowly, what happened? The door knob turned. Hesitant steps were heard crossing the floor. That means someone is coming into the room. To the table on which lay a thick brown paper packet. That means they kept one paper packet as if that is a money packet. Okay. So there was a sound of tearing of paper. That means that hacker came near to the table. He entered into the room and came near to the table, and he just opened that brown paper packet. Okay, he has torn that paper. Sorry, Paul, only old newspaper cuttings there, said Bill. The stranger was startled. That means he was in a shock. The packet with which he was fumbling fell down. Fumbling means he was in a tension. Okay, shivering. Then, as he took that paper packet, then immediately this this Bill said that, sorry, Paul, it is just old newspapers bundle. It's not money. Okay. Then the packet with which he was fumbling fell down, just as if he was holding that paper packet. As he was shivering, he left that paper packet down. He wanted to run away from there, but was surrounded by the 5 chums. So as he was caught by these children, he want to run away. He want to escape from that room, but already these 5 chums surrounded him. The boy who stood facing them was a little older than Arya. He was sweating. So the boy, who is that boy? None other than Hacker. The boy who stood facing them was very, he's little older than Arya. He's not a young man, or he's not older man. He was a small boy, just like these five chums. Then he was, as he was shivering, he was sweating. We know what you wanted," said Bill. "Do you know hacking into others people's computer is a crime?" said Bill. What Bill said? Do you know that? He asked that uh, hacker. Do you know that hacking is a crime? So by then Aunt Stephanie had joined them. She was looking at the boy with unbelieving eyes. See, Aunt Stephanie couldn't believe him. That means she couldn't believe her eyes. That means she thought that the hacker might be older person. Okay, but as she saw this small boy, she was shocked. "You are even younger than my grandson," she whispered. "Why do you want to kill me?" she asked, as she got threats um, by him. So she asked that, you are very younger than my grandson. Why do you want to kill me?" The boy hung his head. So he was ashamed. The hacker was ashamed and he hung his head. That means he bowed his head. With a trembling voice, he confessed, "I'm sorry, ma'am." What he said? The hacker said with trembling voice. As that means he has done a mistake. So he want to admit the mistake. So he said sorry to Aunt Stephanie. "But believe me, I did not want to kill you. I had hacked your account for sheer fun. Just for fun, I have hacked your account, madam. But I don't want to kill you, really," he said. "I had never thought my prank could harm you this much." That means he just want to play a prank. That means he just want to make a fun of that aunt, but he didn't thought that it could harm this much. "Please forgive me." With these words, the boy broke down. Broke down means he broke down into tears. He started crying. Tears of guilt and repentance rolled down his cheeks. That means he started crying. Aunt Stephanie rose and put her hand on the boy's shoulders. "My child, I don't know who you are, but I forgive you." See how kind Aunt Stephanie is. Though he played a prank with Aunt Stephanie, but as he is just like her grandson, she forgave him. Then she said, "I'll forgive you. Don't worry. And I pray that whenever you wish to do anything bad or unkind, God guides you and stops you for being bad." That means what she said, whenever that thought arises in your mind, God stops you. He guides you in a good way to be good. Not also he also stops you from being bad and doing bad things, she said. See, after doing all these things, after sending her a lot of threats, hacking her account, doing all these things also, Aunt Stephanie excused this boy. So this is what about five chums and the hacker. See how nicely these five children traced the hacker. So this is the lesson. So in this video, you just go through the context and find the mm, remaining words which were not given from this context. Already I gave you new words in the last assignment. In the last class, I gave new words. So this is the remaining lesson. From this lesson, you find 10 new words, difficult words from the context, and write each one 2 times. Thank you. Meet you in the next class.